Hey everybody, I'm back! Again, I know, I've tried to do this YouTube thing a couple times, but hopefully this will stick. I'm going to do a slightly different kind of video that is kind of more vloggy, much like my Instagram stories if you followed those. If you haven't been, while my YouTube track record isn't very good, I have a long history of Instagram posts that you can go look back at. Anyway, today we are going to make one of my trays, and I'm just going to hang out with you guys as I go through the process of making a tray. Here is one of my trays that is half finished. It kind of gives you a pretty good idea of what it'll look like when it's done. It just has this top hat left on it. We're going to take this blank piece of material, get it to this point, and then flip it and finish off the back side. First tool is the Superfly from Tormach, and this will just face off the top and give us a good top finish of the edges of the tray. Pull the hose out of the way. This is going to be messy. I do have this little piece of plastic here that I use to kind of keep some chips from flying out. All right, cycle start. I'm going to move away from the You can see there's a pretty good finish coming off of there. I really hope this audio is good. And I am happy with that. This tool does a really good job, always. All right, next tool. It says right there, T4. Take this one out. This is T4. This is a Lakeshore carbide 3 flute. 3/8 inch. And this one does get coolant, but I'm going to kind of pulse it. I have it set up to compensate for overlarge stock. So the first couple times around it pretty much only hits on the corners, but then walks its way in and finishes all the way. I swear this sounds better when I'm running coolant the whole time. All right, finishing pass. Now on this machine in its current maintenance state, which is to say a little bit abused by the previous owner, I do all of my finishing passes twice because I found that really cuts down on any like mismatch marks between the start point and the stop point. Which come from backlash in, well, the whole machine. I have new bearings on the way for all of the different ball screw axes, and hopefully that'll really help with my backlash situation and my surface finishes. And I don't know, maybe I'm being a little bit overly hopeful here, but I think it'll rejuvenate this whole machine. The tool just finished there, tool 4, and we can take a look. So now nice finishes on the side to match our ones on the top. All right, next tool is tool 49, the shear hog. And I'm kind of worried about running this one with the door open because this tool is a little bit more violent. I used to run this tool quite a bit more aggressively, but I ran into a bunch of work holding issues for it. This 1/4 inch 4 flute ball nose end mill. I use this to do the patterns in the floor and to finish the walls It's a ball nose, one, to do the patterns on the floor, and two, because this will give the inside of the wall a nice fillet, which makes things easier to get in and out of the tray. I actually haven't tried this one dry before, but the chips will build up in a little bit of a pocket, and the coolant's good to blow that out. All right, this is that last tool. Okay, so now that the compressor's done running, I can show you the mistake. And again, I hesitate to call this a mistake. I might actually call this a fusion bug. The thing I noticed is that on the corners here, the chamfer tool just missed them. It thought that the radiuses were tighter than they were in reality and kind of went too far and then back. On all four corners, the chamfer tool just missed. And in Fusion, it said that it was perfectly happy with the toolpath. It gave me the green check mark, but I needed to regenerate it. At some point, I did adjust those fillets, and the toolpath never regenerated to reflect the new fillets. So all I had to do was hit Control G. Nothing, well, the preview of the toolpath changed and updated, but the actual little like green check mark next to the toolpath in Fusion did not change. So it thought it was fine before, but I had to regenerate it to fix it. The new tray is perfectly fine, but I have two of these that I did yesterday that I still need to do op 2 on that did not work right. And so I'm gonna try to put these back in there and rerun that toolpath, and it should fix it. Let's get this nice and cleaned up. All right, so let's rerun this on that same tray. I think I have it lined up pretty good. It is taking off a little bit of material, which might be kind of a bad sign, but it's not very off if it's off at all. There we go, and now it just got that corner. So we should be able to fix those two trays that we have. Okay, that was close. It did get those corners, but due to some backlash, there's a slight little mismatch in the fillets. The way to fix that is make it do two finishing passes. Honestly, I thought it should have done that already. So I'm gonna go tweak the cam and we can rerun that again. If I could have any feature added to PathPilot, I would want the ability to jump through code by tool. I don't know if other controllers have that, but it would be so nice. One more time. Okay, now it's fixed. Those two trays are fixed. They're all good to go to op 2. But I thought this would be a good time to talk about why I'm doing what I'm doing and why it's kind of a dangerous thing. So even though I'm doing these trays one at a time, I'm kind of doing batch work because I'm doing all of the op 1s and then flipping them and doing all of the op 2s. Now, really, there's nothing to keep me from doing op 1, op 2, op 1, op 2, op 1, op 2. But I don't have a tool changer, and the walk away from the machine time in op 1 is like a lot higher because the roughing out all of the pockets with the shear hog takes a while, and then finishing them with the ball mill takes forever. By batching all of the op 1s together, it puts all of the long walk away time operations in a row so that I can go do other things like pay attention to my family. Speaking of, yes? The downside is because I'm doing trays, a bunch of trays in a row and not really paying too much attention to them, there's the possibility of doing the same mistake 3 or 4 times in a row and not catching it and scrapping a whole bunch of trays. Or in this case, fortunately, being able to rework a bunch of trays. The safer thing is to go from stock to complete tray all as one shot. It's called one-piece flow. So that if there is a mistake, I'm only scrapping one tray instead of potentially scrapping 3 or 4 trays in a row. That being said, I understand the danger of doing it as a batch, and for me, it's worth the trade-off, it's worth the risk, because my goal is to optimize the products made per man hour And to do that, it's better to do it in very small batches. And a batch of 2 or 3 really isn't that dangerous. At most, I'm risking like $20 or $30 of aluminum and some time. And very soon, in the near future, I will have a pallet that'll let me do 2 parts, which will completely eliminate the second setup and a bunch of tool changes and a bunch of times. Going back to the Superfly, which does the majority of the work on this side of the tray. I was not standing in the right place. I think over here is safer. And back to the chamfer tool, and yes, I already checked the tool paths on Fusion. These ones are good. And it's done. This will be ready to either send to a customer in raw form or tumble it. I don't Cerakote the 3 pocket trays with my current design, but I do tumble them to order if the customer requests it. All right, and that is at least one finished tray. I still need to do the back side of the other 2, but that won't take me too long. I hope this video had good audio, and I hope you could understand it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I'll be able to get back to doing regular videos again, because I really have a lot of stuff that I want to show you guys and talk to you. And while Instagram stories are fun, they just aren't really the right format for lots and lots and lots of talking, as I tend to do. So again, thank you guys. Like, subscribe, yada, 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 and I'll see you around.